So, we're going to start a new session. Whatever I had to discuss about Kabir, apparently, temporarily, we have put it out. My cousin, he is apparently late Mr. Subhash Gupta and late Koshi Gupta or Kaushalya Advani. Their first son, he's my first cousin, real cousin. So now that has been dealt with. We just got that he was murdered in 1999. And it is going on the identity of Rosie Fernandez, whose mother worked for my grandmother in the kitchen. Rosie Fernandez worked in my father's office, it was at home itself. But the point is, it then turns to Rosie Fernandez's time when she has moved to Bhayandar, a place which is really far. And in a time, no, in that time, to be very fair, even Andheri was like a jungle. Andheri was just about coming up. Bhayandar was literally like going into the jungle, where neither the trains nor the buses, it is, and that is why she used to turn up like at 11:30, 12 in the morning. And my dad used to always crib, she comes so late, she goes so late, but can't tell her she's been there for so long. So she arrives at 11, 12 in the afternoon, has to leave early also by 4:35. And anyway, my father now is not doing that well. It is already about, I think, 89, 90, sometime that time. But that is the time she could have got caught, because I got that her identity had been replaced by somebody watching her movement and taking advantage of it. So it is possible that the train ride or the place from where she gets down from the train and goes to wherever her home was, it is possible that there could be a gap in the place and a person can get caught. So it's an open thing. Okay, I'm not saying yes, I'm not saying no, but many times in the previous reading I said on the back of her children, we got a good soul replaced by a dark soul. We put it down to her 4 children. But it may not be the 4 children. The 4 children then are reared by a false identity that misguides them on the back of manipulating them into getting what she wants to get out of them. Also, what I need to put down, I don't know whether I should talk about NTR over here. I don't know. I got that my real cousin, Mr. Umesh Hingurani, Kailash Hingurani's third child. His father is, the MD of the Binny's company here in Bangalore. He's married to my father's sister in her first marriage. She gets widowed after 7-8 years. She's already a mother of 3 children. His name is Mr. Mohan Hingorani, who she gets married to. He is in short known as Johnny. The reason he gets a name like Johnny is primarily because he is from a family background where his father is a doctor. His dispensary is at Oxford Street before my aunt even gets married to Mr. Mohan Hingorani, alias or otherwise nickname is Johnny. His father has a dispensary on Oxford Street. He's a doctor over there in London. Okay, that is the background. Now the point is, she has produced 3 children. Umesh Hingurani is the youngest. The first child born in 1964. The mid child, I don't know, another girl. The first a girl, the second a girl. The third one is finally a boy. He is Umesh Hingurani. His mother, after he is born in 69, his father passes away. And his mother is from 70 to 76 kind of struggling. Either, I think it was like by the 70s, the early 70s. She's struggling. She gets married to Mr. Vittal Mallya in 1976. She has met Vittal Mallya through her MD husband at some, where these pinstripes go, and they are invited to a common place. So when in the 60s she is still married to Mr. Mohan Hingorani from our own Sindhi network, she has been introduced to Mr. Vittal Mallya. When she becomes a widow, and she is actually now trying to put together with her Sindhi in-laws how the settlements should happen, because she has 3 children and they have to decide what they want to do. In that time, she and Mr. Vittal Mallya become friends. He's also fighting a divorce case with his first wife, and she is also grappling with legal issues connected with securing her children, as well as being the widow, and also kind of trying to put things in place. They become friends with no ulterior motives, and each one has their own issues to sort. Later on, they decide to get married, which they do in 1976. At that time, I'm 3 years old. I did attend that wedding because I am on the lawns of a huge photo, and that baby over there is me only, nobody else. Now, the point that I was trying to make is really about my cousin Umesh Hingorani. So, who is Mr. Vittal Mallya for Umesh Hingorani? He becomes the stepfather for his mother's second marriage. The 3 kids never changed their family name out of the Hingorani family name. They always kept it as being Hingoranis. Alright? And their British passports were given to them because of their grandfather's dispensary on Oxford Street in London. So they were British passport holders because of that and nothing else. Alright? Now, the point is, my pendulum said that Umesh Hingorani passed away. It is not willing to say that he was murdered. It is just saying that he passed away in 1987. And NTR was pulled out. You know the NTR, actual NTR, who is a big politician in Tamil Nadu, along with a cinema background. At least the forefathers, they got an actual lineage over there, and it carries on from grandfather to son and son to grandson, that kind of stuff. This boy was pulled off and he was CRISPR'd to become Umesh Hingorani sometime in the 80s. Don't know when. It is a big shock for me also. None of us would have even guessed. And I'm not a guest in my aunt's home. If she says, I'm like your mother, I'm a guest in the home of that who grabs and says, finders keepers, losers fools. And what? Guests think like fish after 3 days. But that shit talk you started only mid-1990s, sometime after 93. Not dared ever to talk that way before. How come? How come? The beast who was CRISPR'd or neurally networked to all the most horrendous, hated personalities on earth in leadership positions. That neural network was fitted into the beast in 1958. She was a woman, maybe. The beast produced another baby, 1975. The beast shapeshifted for Binu, Anu and Ritu. One person. In the beast, other than being fitted out with Stalin, and I don't know about Mussolini, Pulsini, you should know whoever is hated in history. I'm not a historian. But whatever my reading has thrown up earlier, whether it is Hitler, whether it is Stalin, people I don't know from before, and Nazi. In that is Audrey Hepburn's genealogy, genetics stolen. Also, why? To make her very attractive. That beast neural network to the leaders, including your Liechtenstein, Pinchenstein, whatever the hell that place is called with your so-called billionaires. But I say anything that is shown to you, you should disregard. Because if there is one way the beast and the beast creator, the beast is not as bad as the creator of the beast. The beast is connected with fooling you. The creator of the beast who put the characteristics of the beast are the real horrendous beings. They are the real perpetrators. And that's who you need to hunt down. Liechtenstein, Finchenstein, all of them are brain controlled apparently. Neurally networked to the same central point of the beast. So they can't do their own thinking. Also, there is no bloody Illuminati. Illuminati is used as a front for something called 300-300. Now, anyway, what is it with my cousin called Umesh Hingorani? NTR was brought in his place. Now, how do we know it is possibly NTR? I'm not saying it is really NTR. I'm saying how do we know it is possibly NTR? Because my cousin, Mr. Umesh Hingorani, who has gone to Cathedral School, is an ICSE school. The kids are trained very, very strongly to go away to America or some Ivy League college, mostly after the 12th standard. Some drop out in the 10th also, but many go after the 12th. It is your tickets to going to America mostly. Alright? Now the point is the studies are they're quite hard. Umesh has also gone to a boarding school in Mahabaleshwar, Panchgani for a little while. Did he not? Not sure. He has gone to the American school also at Kodaikanal for some years. Then he's got admission here in Bishop Cotton School, which is ICSE or it's ICSE. So his past record, and given his genetics and genealogy, is a grandfather who has a doctor DNA in him, which means he knows how to do his studies, and so he has his dispensary on Oxford Street in London. You can't do that just with the waving of a wand, and not in the 50s and 60s. You obviously have to be qualified, especially since you're an Indian, right? Now, any which ways, it doesn't matter. The point that I'm trying to make is, not to digress, the point that I'm trying to make is he's got the DNA of science, he's got the DNA of his mother, who has studied her LLB and BA, gone to JB Pettit School, which is again, I don't know, ICSE only. So his genealogy is to do corporate work. His father also was the managing director in a corporation. What is it with Umesh? He fails his 9th, 10th standard, and his mother has to move him out of Bishop Cotton's into an SSLC school, which is even lower than the SSC school that I went to, where really, frankly, bottom of the pyramid kids go to. And many of them, some of them are even steeped in crime. This child has been sent to that kind of a school, and he has graduated from that school. Now, I don't know what it is about him, but he goes away to Madras and he wants to be an extra in some movie in Madras. The shooting is in Madras. He just wants to be an extra on the sets of a movie in Madras. What makes him do that? I can't understand it. That is because his bloody conscience is telling him he is not comfortable in a Sindhi household or in somebody else's home. His probably failing the year is because, well, he's from Tamil Nadu, he's not from Karnataka. He's been pulled out of his life, brought to Karnataka, and so it is switching without knowing why you have switched. There's one more giveaway about it. Umesh started wearing lungi and feeling comfortable wearing his lungi. Bolu, why is he wearing a lungi and not your cotton lungi? He's wearing the lungi because, I don't know, we say it is the company of his Kannada friends or some of his friends who are older than him, so he's copying them, and he, they're an influence upon him, so he's being that way. But that lungi is silky, satiny with polka dots on it. So there are lots of things that are giveaways that Umesh Hingorani, whatever my reading is saying, that he was no more after 1987 or 86. From the other angle about Umesh Hingorani's pretends fake ID sister. That means Umesh Hingorani's mother's fake identity sister, whose identity has gone on to a woman called Shakuntala, who has worked in my home, beating me in my own grandmother's bathroom. When I am 5, 6, 7, 8 years old, don't know when. She has taken the place of JAYA.ADVANI, Koshi Gupta, after getting rid of her in 1988, my reading says. Who has played so filthy from abroad? And to what end? No, you are going to answer to everybody who did nothing to you. You want to twist and turn things because you want to be the only one, who controlling stuff. It cannot happen. Earth is not your creation. Even those who you got to work in the so-called Illuminati, there is no Illuminati. Illuminati is the front for something called 300. Most of them are criminals, because the ones who do their work, who were the Illuminati, slowly you put it down to picking up people from the streets with poverty problems in LA. Then you got them to become somebody, then you got rid of them and grabbed their money. You did that with the monarchy in Europe way before. You are a habitual offender. And it only gets worse and worse and worse in the cycle. Coming back to my cousin Umesh Ingorani. From another angle, what I am told about Umesh in the 90s sometime, Umesh had malaria for 3 days. He was crying on the phone, calling his mother's sister, because nobody in that big bungalow actually was there except him and the servants. That's it. So he's cried on the phone, asked his mother's sister to come and look after him or do anything because he's so sick. For a boy to weep on the phone, that also a teenager, and that boy likes keeping to himself. You know, he's a growing teenager. He wants to be a man. And he is the man of the family because his father has died within a year of him being born. So he's been brought up as a responsible boy. And not on the streets in Malabar Hill in Everest. Building. For that boy to actually cry on the phone because he is so sick. That's the other angle to why it is possible what my reading and my pendulum and my Scrabble that has been talking about what happened to my actual cousin. That having happened to him is very possible. That's why I gave you all 4 reasons from 2 different angles. NTR, according to my reading, if NTR was that version of Umesh when SM Krishna was the governor in Bombay, I was told via the pendulum and the Scrabble, whoever was being Umesh at that time, he had been removed, pulled off the grid, taken to Panvel, kept over there for about 6 months, murdered a little before or a little after the bomb blast. Whenever that happened, the Kasab issue. SM Krishna's term as a governor in Bombay got over again 6 months before the bomb blast and the Kasab issue. I don't think you need to justify Kasab issue because logically if anyone has a brain to try and question what is the handshake between Israel and Iran. Iran being the Parsis and Taj Mahal. Israel being the bloody synagogue. Cafe Mondica and CST being the Marathi Chhatrapati Shivaji terminus. What is the professionals, the pinstripes, got who to work and not pay up and disappear? Or who did you agitate at that point in time that without thinking they did what they did? And I don't think it is a terrorist attack. A terrorist and a terrorist in the camps is trained so much that even a 5-year-old holding that freaking gun will just shoot. That is the bloody drug. That is the inducement. They don't need to drug themselves out. Which Kasab was drugged out so he could fire and so he could kill. My understanding is the Middle Eastern problem, the war-torn Middle East and Kazakhstan, Uzbekistan, Turkmenistan, Azerbaijan, they all developed wherever, both places you look, if after the 90s suddenly buildings started cropping up and development started happening. That development happened on the back of stolen money. Stolen from where? Whole world. Wherever they were knocking off people, grabbing money and putting it back into developing these places which were not developed, including their own kings. Sachai hai. You just check the development when it started happening. It is on the back of pure blood, money, genocide, murder, and nothing else. Whether it was some people in Bombay, whether it was some people in Karnataka, whether it was some people in Europe, whether it was some people in America, whether it was some people wherever in the fucking world. You just had to be the top tier of the pinnacle. That's it. The ones who coined that it is lonely on the top is that who initially put their foot into the door. The first shapeshifter for some very high profile CEO, chairman. Not declared dead to the world but stealth mode murdered. Maybe you learnt when you got rid of Mr. Vittal Malia in Taj. Once you came and saw how much there is, you didn't want to wait. You played all of them because from Vijay Malia's point of view, he is the sole heir of his father's stuff. Umesh is a stepbrother who has no interest. Actually, I don't think he would have been bothered. In case he was told, no, get out from here, he would have probably left. If he was accepted and a friend, he would have been a friend. The filth playing everyone on the freaking chessboard is the one outside the chessboard. In the case of my cousin Nikhil Advani, what did you do with him? Nikhil Advani was the sole Sindhi bloodline of the Amils. Mirchandani, well settled. Hukumatrai Advani, not well settled but of a good bloodline. You always used to use one word, caught between the devil and the deep sea, as early as when I was in school. Caught between the devil and the deep sea. Now, if you take Nikhil Advani's case, my pendulum reading, he is again my first cousin from my father's side. If we take Nikhil Advani's identity and caught between the devil and the deep sea, from Nikhil Advani's mother's side, you have gotten rid of Suchitra Mirchandani Advani, according to my reading, 1986. Because she had cancer of the uterus, she used to go to Tata Research Institute for Cancer. Binu Masi also did the same thing. There are like that so many of the ladies who had cancer somewhere or the other, and all of them went to Tata, trusted brand. Anyway, Suchitra Mirchandani Advani was replaced by somebody else called Chitru. She becomes the mother, but she is fake identity, not original mother, according to my read. Nikhil Advani turns to his, and there is whatever little problems they have in their own setup. Nikhil Advani turns to whom? His father. His father puts him on to whom? His father's lost his job. He's no more working in Madura courts. And for the next 4 years, there are problems in their home. Nikhil Advani is a grown boy. He is either graduating from Bishop Cotton's or he has joined college. Either which ways, he is very impressionable. He turns to whom? His father's sister, Mrs. Ritu Malia or Kailash Hingorani, except that my reading says Kailash Hingorani was pulled off and there was a fake identity in her place. Sometimes visited by the beast who can play Annu Sadrangani, can play Binu Sadrangani, and not play but stand in for her. Be then. And Ritu Malia. Now, if on both sides, and then if you turn to your cousin Mr. Umesh Hingorani, who's NTR, NTR uncomfortably, he doesn't know he's not NTR, he's actually NTR, he's not Umesh. He's still adjusting himself. What does Nikhil get promoted to become? Where does he end up? NTR, being NTR conscious, sometimes on, sometimes off, but mostly known as Umesh Hingorani. Who goes and plugs NTR's place in Tamil Nadu as early as 87, 88? Who you think would have plugged that place? And with what repercussions for his family on a political and a cinema front? That's a shapeshifter. What would have happened to Tamil Nadu as early as 87, 88 onwards? Full-fledged 93 onwards, 95 onwards. हमको उठा के यहाँ से वहाँ पे NTR की जगह में लगाऊं? कोई इंडियन को उठाएगा? Zillion% not. So then who came to be NTR? I was wondering कि उमेश हिंगोरानी का फ्रेंड तोशनीवाल जो है, तोशनीवाल को बुलाऊं क्या? रवि तेजा, who's no more in the body. He doesn't want to stay in Andhra, आ गया है. Under Ravi Teja is become what's his name? Toshniwal, Ajay Toshniwal, living here in Sadashiv Nagar. He and Umesh have invested in Bali sometime early 90s. How did they do that? Because one is Ravi Teja from the film industry. The other one, and from Andhra. The other one is who? NTR from Tamil Nadu. Again with the background of cinema. NTR is being Umesh Crispert. He doesn't want to be. Baba, they'll lay a red carpet for him if he ever says he wants to act. But what has the boy done? Wearing the ego of Umesh put upon him, he has gone as an extra on the very same sets where his forefathers would have had a red carpet rolled out for them. To the amusement of whom? That from out of the country watching the whole show, responsible for whatever has happened in so many homes over here. But even today we are told that our military is not capable of handling the question of cloning. As nobody actually, not many people are capable of handling it. Because how many people's forensics can you do? The forensics need to be done on so many angles. Any small giveaway has got to do with the biology of the person. Do you kill the person and find out whether this is original or duplicate? How do you find it out? So the biotech war actually started ages ago. That's the message to you people. It is the most filthily played war by the most useless class of leprosy-ridden Atmas of the Brahman. If you really want to know the identity of those souls. To give you the name of the identity of what I saw yesterday, I think I better give it to you so you don't keep doing Illuminati, Illuminati. Illuminati used to be a group of people connected with, they wanted to probably kind of, an elitist group that wanted to do good their own way for humanity. Maybe not, maybe there was a selfish angle, along with snobbery. All right. But the point is that was a front, which means it is only the front facade. So I'm showing you my hands. If you've never seen my face before, do you know who I am? Tomorrow, if you see me picking this up, what will you say? Oh, a hand picked it up. But is the hand doing the work or is my brain doing the work? My brain is doing the work with my face. Can you see it? No, you can't see it. So this is Illuminati, the front. The brain that you can't see, the face that you can't see is the new group that has been spoken about. It is something 300. The full name we will give you because we saw it on the internet. Point is, anything spoken about should be thrashed because the one who is doing all this never shows himself unless he is absolutely sure that he has got everyone by their balls and nobody can actually overthrow him. His ducks were being put in a row, so he doesn't reveal himself. He feels he has put his ducks in the row, and so he is now beyond being caught, hiding behind artificial intelligence, which is progressive according to whatever you have fixed in it, preempting and getting progressive as time goes by, with the filth fitted by you. No, so on the back of it, what do we get? Tomorrow, whatever you got done through Ambani and Adani to build your stronghold in India, because they connect to a different crowd. It's like, the UPA and the NDA. Congress versus Bharatiya Janata Party. Or the RSS. Or then should we say Shah Rukh Khan, Salman Khan and Amir Khan in the film industry? The three sections of society, their target audience. So even in that, primarily what? Ambani and Adani are a crowd that you cannot cover neither as the Congress, nor as the Tata, nor as the Wadia, nor as the Godrej. You're too uppity and too European for their liking. You cannot talk to them their language. And that is, according to your study, a huge population in India that is very much required to get onto the plate. In fact, that's a larger population than your few elitists in the 4 metros or 5 metros. So who can talk to them? And how? Through which products? What about Sunil Mittal? What is Sunil Mittal? What does the word Sunil mean? It's something very nice. What is mit all? Destroy everything. How? Through the towers of Airtel. Connected to what? Telephony and broadband and Wi-Fi. Extended itself into what? Your digital era is what? Animation, VFX to gaming. Do you know why we are discussing all this? Yesterday when I did these chits with Shirdi Sai Baba, yes, no chits, he said we are moving to Tala Tala. You know what Tala Tala lock kiya jaye is? It is fourth from the bottom of the lower realms. So Patala, Rasatala, one more Tala, Mahatala, and then Tala Tala. ताला ताला के ऊपर सुताला, सुताला के ऊपर विताला, उसके ऊपर आताला, फिर अर्थ. So these illusionary tricks is Tala Tala's realm. It's called conning people, cloning people, shape shifting for people, intercepting calls, breaking up relationships, exchanging people in interaction, mass confusion. Here our military all the time is making itself update itself with all the forward technology, but then they have forgotten that CDS Rawat went in that one click of a button, one helicopter, one CDS Rawat with, there were 11 of them who died in one shot in the helicopter, advanced technology. Then 124 people died again in another plane. They were civilian passengers again from Ahmedabad. So they are very busy fighting that on the outside. What they haven't understood is all the damage was long done on the inside. All those who contributed to commerce in a big way in India, most of them were massacred. Stealth mode. Very few of the weaker ones considered weak have been left behind. In my case, I'm guessing the beast tries to kill me every day, trying to insult me, because the beast thinks that death is better than insulting. So keep me alive. I'm probably the beast's biggest enemy, but I don't care. The insults don't work on me simply because, well, my guess is this is only the body. To deal with you was the birth. And so we're dealing with you up to the time we're supposed to work, till the time the Guru takes over. Shirdi Sai Baba, whoever else he wants to bring in later on, he will do so. Whatever little we have to do, we do. Since we know that we're here for a little while, the torch and the baton on our end also keeps moving on the way you also play it. When you have to get caught, the Guru will decide. The Guru is in touch with everything in the universe. You are playing truant here on earth. When the Guru decides, all the elements are in his hands, whether it is the sun, the moon, Shani, all the demigods, the gods, even Shivji and Vishnu bow down to him and take his permission for everything. Even Shakti, that is all sorts, whether it is Mahalakshmi, whether it is Kali, whether it is Saraswati, they all have to follow his instructions just by dint of him being the Guru. And those rules, regulations are followed to the T. So that is why I am not bothered with you or by you. Couldn't care less. But for that one who has to go on and on and on forcefully, then he must be in a very desperate state. That is my understanding. It is just left. When it comes to my cousin Nikhil Advani, the question of, and he's no more in the body apparently, the question of being caught between the devil and the deep sea. You made him Mr. Kani Advani at some point in time and then got rid of him from Fort Jaswal through the louvers, is what I understand it. I have understood. You strangulate people, that is why there is no evidence left. Also, since it is brain control, where is a man going to struggle with you if his brain is controlled and he can't move his muscles? You just strangulate him and get rid of the body from his chacha's house, who you hate a lot. Is it really about his chacha, or is it his grandfather, Mr. Hukumat Rai Gurmukdas Advani, and Kalavati Hukumat Rai Gurmukdas Advani? It's more about them and about Lakshmi Advani from Pune to Bombay. The class of people who have a problem are the domestic helps who worked. Miss Katrina, don't bring your voice on the back of my throat. The domestic helps are domestic helps. Whenever the word domestic help happens, why do you have to bring your voice in? You belong to that category? Why you need to change it? At my home, the domestic help is kept by my parents, my grandparents. Don't need your bloody voice coming in on it all the time. Don't do it. And tell your bloody extended nonsense of rubbish not to keep breaking into my bloody home, spoiling it. My apartment is not your grandpop's money. It's my grandpop's money. My father's earning, not yours. Yes, for every identity there are so many people, desperados, clone, such a shitty nexus of the most starved desperados from the leprosy-ridden areas of the Brahmand, messing around all the time. The beast, last game you want to play is putting something in the back of my throat. Your daughter wearing the face of my dead sister, Varsha Advani, coming and going. Wears red all the fucking time. Has a hand at the crotch all the time. Like you, wearing the duster coat. Maker Towers. Which floor? That is the 4th or the 5th apartment that was changed. That's the only lady we requested our father should not invite that lady to our parties. Why? Social climbing is very important. When she has gotten involved with Nagpal Narang, Ambassador never ever got back on its feet. It copied the design of Taj Mahal, very grandeur, the revolving restaurant. Rooms we get at 6,000, 5,000. But 1/3 the opulence down the road, not even a 5-star, an okay place, very small standard building. They charge 15,000 for a bedroom, for a room, or 12,000 or 10,000. Tiny size. How come? That's called destruction of business and destruction of the GDP. Yeah, so when the Mahajans were, there was a shootout between them and the two, Raj Thackeray and Uddhav Thackeray, fell out. Who stayed, who went, we don't know. 100% वहाँ पे भी कांडी है. But if governance moves out of the hands of able governance, then who comes in on the back of it, and with it what do they bring? Also, Bombay's development, Bangalore's development, Oman's development, Azerbaijan's development. Azerbaijan started developing only after 1990. With whose money? If you look at it, it all looks the same. One source, one architect. No, you need to question this because they're planning to get rid of most population on earth before 2036. 2036 is one thing. My pendulum says within 8 years. 8 years is when? Before 31, 32, 33, 34. If they say they want 1 billion people left on earth, then I'll lay a bet it's 1/3 of 1 billion. So the Third World War started ages ago. To end it is primarily to restart society. Restart society with what? You're going back to the Stone Ages with a greedy person like you? No chance. You will forcefully fit all those fucking cheap external medical devices, nanotechnology, into the ones who are unfortunately left behind. The babies forcefully created also will be technologically fitted out at the very beginning. Your robots, drones will do the work for setting things back in place. Your 3D printing will come into place for building homes. You're planning to clear out Earth, so the beast wants to be whole and soul, or not the beast, the creator of the beast wants to be the whole and soul on Earth. Game of Thrones, only one throne. Everybody else plays musical chairs. Whoever grabs the throne amongst the who's who stays. The rest of them, stealth mode, were all gotten rid of. So there is no bloody Illuminati. What is the name of the new group? I'll just have to check. Okay, so this is what I found yesterday. Every Powerful Secret Society explained in 15 minutes. Right? It was a good one. But the point of interest is, let's take it forward. This is what I found. It is the Committee of 300 that I'm talking about. Look at the symbol, wants to play God. Like Satya Sai Baba, the Abhaya. I don't know if that's what it is called. Where the gods give you a blessing saying don't worry. Right? Is that also the something that the Congress uses as its emblem in India? So anyway, these are all the so-called secret societies over time, as early as, I don't know which century, but way before. The one that is still in existence big time is Freemasons and the Committee of 300. Okay, why is it most important? Now we say Freemasons and Committee of 300. He has to play a stupid buzzer in my body. I am just on the ground, simple citizen, not interested in actually being associated with any of this. So why you are coming down to my level and playing silly sounds in my body? What you get out of it? Stay incognito, don't make a mess of yourself and don't show yourself. After you're an elitist, why are you coming down to my level? Don't do that. Now, the point is Order of Skull and Bones. Also, I think is pretty active. Okay, now let's just see. This is supposed to be the Olympian or the hidden hand. Committee of 300. Okay. The secret society is the pinnacle of all the societies that we showed you earlier. Okay. Supposed to have been founded by the British aristocracy in 1727. It controls the world. Connected with UK is Ireland. Controls everything from media to money to banking to shopping to retail to religion to police to intelligence to law and order and to judges. Believed to manipulate global events to serve their own interest. How do they get through getting what they want? They create the wars, they create the economic crisis, and they create social movements. That is how you become a free worker for them. That's all I'm trying to let you know. Now, this is what I am telling you. Illuminati, please don't go on about Illuminati. The Illuminati is its front. How I showed you my hand, you saw the hand. You didn't see the face, you didn't see the brain. Right? Political leaders, bankers, industrialists, and royal family members. So the ones who work for the social causes primarily work free for them. You are manipulated, and so we have these kind of outcomes, including whoever uses mobile telephony. It is self-defeating to you, not to me. Both in body and in Atma. They already know about it because they studied this not from the 16th century, but from the very beginning, 2nd, 3rd century, in more recent times. What is their effort? To reduce the human population on Earth to 1 billion by 2036. They want to create a unified world order under one government. The rider is that there is no actual proof, hardcore proof. Perhaps the one who created the video is taking legal precautions for themselves, which is understandable. And if it is going into politics, going into banking systems, going into various institutions, how do you get proof of it? Now, if the issue is biotech war, which started ages ago, then it is difficult to get proof, primarily because when somebody from the original Illuminati was removed, or when there is something like influenza, and let's say there is a king and a queen, they are not able, even spite of having 16, 17 children, there's nobody, no heir created so that the monarchy continues. It has to get dissolved and somebody else comes in, which is the case with Queen Anne. The other dream that I had was what? A father and a daughter. The father is an emperor somewhere. He is down in the dungeon. He is with the enemy. The enemy is going to slaughter him. They are waiting for their own army to turn up and save them. But the army and the army people who are supposed to protect their king has signed a deal with the opposite party, and so stages and purposely delays their arrival to save the king. The king gets slaughtered, the daughter is wailing, is where the dream ended, and the army arrives late. But it is well understood in the dream that they did it on purpose. So when we have these kind of instances that have happened in the history, it was a deep state dream shown to me in my sleep. So when we come to know that these are the things capable of happening, because it is about grabbing power, and if it is the yuga is Kali Yuga, then obviously it is not straightforward. It is done a very different way. Things that normal people would not want to touch, not for anything, right? Knowing what the repercussions are in the afterlife. But if it is the question of the beast, how much worse does it get than the realm that the beast comes from? He has already hit rock bottom. Where else can he fall to? When he is already at rock bottom, what is the company he's got to keep? How many people will serve him? Once he's out of here, he still needs to be the king. More the merrier. So he needs to drop as many as possible. His focus is that. This entire game he has played primarily with the idea of, according to my understanding, securing his place with as many servitudes at the lower realms as he can grab. That's why he has done that, because out of it, either he just wants a stronghold. That's what he wants. Okay, and there is place only for one, is his understanding. The throne is only one, so it becomes the Game of Thrones. It is Hunger Games. Everything that sitcom reality shows threw in your face earlier. What you don't know, each of us has been as a pawn on the chessboard. The reality game of that who played everybody. Whenever he wants little entertainment, he will yo-yo you, get you to do some work, either pay you, not pay you. When he pays you, he knows he's going to be retracting it. He knows he's going to be getting it back. He plays for his own amusement. And he plays how? making you the puppet in his chessboard. Now, according to my understanding, he has checkered everything. What does checkered mean? Checkered primarily means, if we look at the floor, you can see the lines in the floor and the tiles of the floor. So one tile is black, one tile is white, another one is black, another one is white. You understand? He has done this within the country, the states. Within the states, so like in India, you will have one checkered one way, one checkered another color. So it's difficult when you're hopping. He's playing everyone against everybody. He micromanages it even down to cities and towns, checkering it. My reading said that even when it came to IB and Raw, he mixed them all up, dangling the carrot in front of them, making different alliances amongst the agents with different outside spy agencies or intelligence agencies of other countries, on the back of which he played them all. All that is history, old stuff. Now you got to think, how do you deal with it for tomorrow? That's actually where we are at. Everything else is history. It's over and done with. I drop milk over here, I can't pick it up. Even if I pick it up, what I'm going to have? So everything that has happened in history is to only understand in a very objective manner, not to get emotional about. You want to be emotional once you go home, there's plenty of time. Depending where you have earned it, that time you sit and see whether you want to be emotional or you don't want to be emotional. Once you go back to your Brahmand, in the Brahmand, your home, you meet your friends, family and whatever. I don't know whether you will jump in joy or you will be weeping at what experience temporarily you went through on earth. I don't know which one you're going to do. Depending how you earned it, are you going to be happy? Are you going to be sad? Dharma and karma. So the point is, this is not really a time for being emotional. It is a time for being very objective. I know it sounds robotic, but it is not robotic. Understanding that time is eternal. If you need to grieve, you need to have your healing session, you will have it. But the point is here, you need to say, how does one deal with the situation for the best outcome possible? The only reason he's been able to play people on the chessboard is playing with their emotions. It's called a psychological warfare. Now, either you're going to know that and pander to it and empower that who is looking to decimate you. You're nothing but a free worker for him. He despises you, and that's the truth. If in the beast who has convinced you of so many things, and in that beast network, nearly networked to many people who are your influencers, is also Audrey Hepburn's ego, genetics stolen or what stolen, I don't know. Where is pretty Audrey Hepburn, like an angel, so pretty and so attractive and such a darling of the masses? Where is her personality type clubbed into the beast with Hitler as well as Stalin? All of them have a different, unique selling point in the genetics and in how they deal with the public. All of that has been fitted into one entity, and that entity has been shape-shifting to do the work, but that entity is also neurally networked to a lot of other people. So is it the case of the SATA drive with all the CRM worldwide, the towers connected with telephony, the broadband optic fibers? Now that is only one part of the challenge, and challenge it is, because whenever e-commerce took your details, including your phone number and your OTPs, they were also taking your financial data connected to your biometrics. It all ties in if you understand how it is with your one telephone number. That is one part of the problem. The second part of the problem are the DGs, the electrical lines for your IR, and whatever happened with the helicopter and happened with the planes. That's the second part of the challenge. So he has divided it into two parts, this way also and that way also. That is the arm and ammunition that you have to refuse. That's the actual bomb. Calling it a bomb is actually a understatement. That's the dynamite. Split into two. Through electrical lines and through optic fiber, the towers, telephony, broadband, Wi-Fi. Which also jams your brain also to take the appropriate actions. You will say, I will do, but you will not do. Something will stop you. That's because you are brain controlled. So if that has been happening with you, then you should know who you are. Okay, now coming down to here, since we got Tala Tala, Shirdi Sai Baba said, I have to do a read connected with the talatalaloka. That's where I'm going to. Talatalaloka, if you want to know what it is, I'll let you know. I'll show it from the internet. So it says that talatalaloka is the demon Ravana's loka. It is also the loka of Maya. It is the realm of the architect Maya. The demon at that is the father of Mandodari, that is Ravana's queen. Shivji destroyed 3 cities of Tripura. He allowed Maya to rule the realm. So what is Maya? Maya is Vishnu's elusive power, con artistry, fooling people, on the back of creating an elusive understanding of things. So it is very shadowy. It doesn't give you clarity. Like black and white, you can't get over there. What is fed to you is very different is only an illusion to confuse you. It is not the ground reality. So that's what we're going to be addressing if the pendulum wants me to do that. Okay? Is anyone over here willing to talk? The fan is coming in your way. Okay, 1 minute. Okay, so is anyone over here? I had to hear a song before I started the recording because I realized in Tala Tala, if we break it up, is Tata's name, LA and Lala. I didn't realize that yesterday off camera when I was, kind of checking with you and the yes no chits off camera for my own purpose, and I was told I got to go to Tala Tala. Now when I, it suddenly hit me, hey, 1 minute, there's that song, la 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 la, I don't want to hear what you say, hush, don't speak. So there he wears a mask of an elephant, but that's like bottom of the pyramid, leaves him in a cave which is highly unhygienic, and gets him to kneel in front of a new god inside of the cave, very unhygienic. He has a parent or somebody who is, guiding him. But of course, neither situation is that good. But the second situation is a lot worse than the first one. If you think about it, long-term repercussions. Anyway, so I just watched that song. I quite like it without seeing the video. It's got a good beat. But the point is, if you go and in there is Nana Nana also. Well, they have addressed Nana Nana as well, because it's La 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 and Na Na Na. No? Okay, now do you want me to do a throw of Scrabble and see what you want to say? Tell me, the Society of 300 or whatever it's called, is that an important thing to look at? It's all in the shadows. It should be the focal point. Anybody I know is part of that group? That group is what? Created on the back of clones standing in for the dead Illuminati? That's where you catch most of the clones? I want to understand, the beast is still active. The beast daughter is also active. Tell me one thing, the beast daughter ever took the identity of Varsha Advani ever? Did the beast daughter ever take Varsha Advani's identity? I want to just check with you. You are Varsha Advani, my sister by birth. Did you ever try to incite me into a fight on purpose? And did we get into a fight where we went into hair pulling and giving bad words to each other, and then you went running to Papa after you had incited me for half an hour? And you didn't get a freaking scratch on you. Instead, you hit me quite a bit, but nothing happened to me. In defense, whatever I did, you got a black mark and you went running off to Papa. Was that you, Varsha Advani? Was that your clone, Varsha Advani, who for half an hour went on insisting, inciting to have a fight so she can present me as a bad person? That person was what? Developed by Binu and Ritu's identity? Sometimes Binu, sometimes Ritu. That's the girl she went on to Chamat's wedding too. Was that girl on the scene even before we went on the Chidambaram ship? The circus incident that happened, Varsha, the circus incident that happened after the, the circus, and the cancelling of the circus happened after the Chidambaram ship. The girl who insisted that I don't follow what Mama has said, get off the bed, go down and play with you on the floor, where at the apt moment after 10 minutes, Mama comes flying into the bedroom and I get a thrashing of my life, somersaulting over the bed. Was that you who was involved in it? Was that your clone, created at the same time as you but connected to the beast neural network? The beast and the beast's daughter exchanged for you every time at the opportune time. Is the reason things went haywire for Jaswal and then extended to our entire network? The beast herself played what? Anu Sadrangani? Binu Satrangani, and Ritu Malya, as some of the people she has shapeshifted for. They call it ghosting. So sometimes she just comes and goes from people's IDs. Wherever she can carry it off. She's born in 1958. Tell me one thing, if we had to look at Koshi Auntie and we had to look at Kailash Auntie, what is the difference between them? Koshi Auntie is taller, bigger built. So fitting into that identity can be Shambhav E, can be Aarti Nanthur, can be you. In Kailash Auntie's identity or Mrs. Ritu Malya's identity, that body can be Sonia Gandhi, can be Ritu Malya, can be Anu, can be Binu, can be me. At least earlier, now I don't know, my body structure is a little different, but earlier it could be me, tiny. Is there ever been a case, who is the beast? The beast is, the head beast is on the identity of Koshi Gupta. The body structure is on the identity of Koshi Gupta. That's the daughter beast, the daughter of the beast. The head beast would be Anu, Binu, Ritu, that identity. The beast's daughter who was produced, but you are a very dainty girl, right? Relatively a dainty girl. Yet there is a version of you that I see in my photo looking very nice with Payal. 1997-98, but you are not exactly dainty. You are big boned, like Aarti Arta. The daughter of the beast, when the daughter of the beast was produced, was she big boned? She's dainty like her mother, as in smaller boned like her mother, the head beast's actual daughter. Yet she plays what? Big bone people? Is that what you're trying to say? She stands in for big boned people? Was the beast, the head beast, split between two people's identity? No, splitting the head beast, darling, we've understood that the neural network of the head beast today is even in people living in the billionaire club of Liechtenstein. It has been spread on lots of people's neural network unsuspectingly. Is that they chose to have it fitted? They didn't choose to have it fitted. Okay, so stealth mode, it was fitted upon them to control their thought patterns and their decision making. So we understand that it has been bifurcated amongst lots of people. What I'm trying to understand is, are you saying the idea of, whoever stood in for Koshi Gupta and whoever stood in for Ritu Malya, you're saying they're extension of the head beast? One of them is the head beast itself. One of the clones for one of the two of them is the head beast itself, or used to be in those days. So was it on the identity of Koshigupta that the head beast was functioning? Was it on the identity of Ritu Malia that the head beast was hiding behind that facade? Down the line, did the neural network of the head beast be moved to Koshigupta? So you were saying the head beast is a bunch of qualities in a neural network that can be fitted to anybody, changing it as of what the requirement is for the damage to be done, contributing to the war to be played out in time to come, or rather the conclusion of the war. Taking society forward is what? Good people. On the war getting over, taking society on earth forward is in the hands of good people. Taking society forward on the back of the war to be played out is in the hands of the creator of the beast through technology. That's who wants 1 billion people left on earth. Are they going to manage to leave 1 billion people on earth? On the back of the so-called war created by them only. First and foremost, what they have planned before 2036, wanting to have 1 billion people left on earth on the back of everyone else being sent home. Is that actually going to play itself out in time to come? So on the back of it, you are saying less than 1 billion people on earth will be left. The beast just wants everything for himself. Then whoever's bad luck it is to be born on earth during the time that the beast and his network grow, that's their karma, is what you are saying, to be played out differently on earth. Okay, do you want me to do a throw? Because he's talking about tala tala. Okay, I'll do the throw. I don't know what you want to say, but I'll just do the throw. Okay. Has NTR gone to a good realm? NTR died as Umesh Hingorani. When NTR left his body, did he leave his body wearing the identity of Umesh Hingorani, my first cousin? You're saying he went what, to a lower realm? Is he hanging out with Nikhil? Is NTR, who played the role of Umesh not because he wanted to, but that's what was put upon him, are he and Nikhil there for each other, as company for each other, with whoever else their friends are? Toshniwal also over there? If not Toshniwal, your Ravi Teja. They're what? In Mahartala. Okay, so they're together. Okay, alright. Now you're taking me to Tala Tala, or what are you doing? You're not taking me to Tala Tala? Okay, whatever you want to say, I'm just going to do the throw. That okay if I do the Scrabble throw? Okay, so we leave it open. We leave it open, we see what comes out of it. Okay, I'll do it this way and then move it. Okay, so it's open. I don't have anything in mind, but whatever Varsha wants to say. Varsha Advani, baby, whatever you wish to speak. Okay, that's what I've got. Anything fallen? Nothing. Again, we got E, E, E. Rule. Riley. So there's Riley, there's Rule, NIA, Nikhil Advani, SRL, S and Sue, and lies. So what is it we see over here? If we can move it. These guys are all dead. Many people over here mentioned over here in the user interface, these are whatever you're playing in my home is the people's ego, dead people's ET that does all the useless talk. They're people who have already left and gone away into the afterlife. In fact, everything over here tells you people who have been affected. And of course, when they've gone, their replicas are in place, so you don't know they are gone. You come to know from here. RIL is mentioned over here. User interface. Riley, but not the original. Lies galore. Su is connected with SRL and the SL identity, which has already been identified that SRL died ages ago. SL is somebody who has conned many women, married lots of people, fake identity. How does it fit into the Tala part of it? Because Tala is primarily the demonic realm of Maya, the architect, where under the guise and illusion you fool a lot of people. So you have Sue, you have Surly also, Surlie, Surly, or however she spells her name. NA is Nikhil Advani. There is a Chinese boy called Lee, and there is a girl called Sue he was involved with. All shapeshifters, probably. Maybe this Chinese and this girl ruined Nikhil Advani. Sue may have played the role of Varsha Advani at some point in time. She's a Soan girl, Soan. But since this is the real girl, must have been removed ages ago, Soan. All these are no more. All identities messed around with. Lee is from Korea, or he's from America, or he's Chinese. Don't know. Must be playing Elon at some point in time. NA is my cousin Nikhil Advani. He's no more. I think the way they did the ruining is through user interface of artificial intelligence, which keeps coming up. It's got to do with EEE. So because artificial intelligence is open AI, who's giving you stuff, how's it true, how's it not true? Anyway, it's your back-end architecture. NI gets involved how? Maybe these two have stood in for the NIA to confuse things through technology. That's why you're like headless chickens, or then a dog chasing its own tail. Once you understand what the ground reality is, it's that only. So there is somebody who is talking through in my home. So this is nothing but people who are already dead. If you left them to talk with their own body rather than hiding behind cheap artificial intelligence to vent your frustration, playing egos of dead people from far away. I'm pretty sure when my actual niece meets me and my actual family meets me in the afterlife, whoever my soul tribe is, that will be the reality of things. Your pre-recorded nonsense, that also on the back of people you have murdered, stealth mode, created stealth mode, stolen genomes, genetics from stealth mode. I'm sure they will decide that you are the lepers dying of leprosy in the leper colony of the Brahmand, because that's the actual reality. You having to use artificial intelligence, making the niece who is dead leer at me, that also connected with EU. I've never been to the EU. If you had traded my niece when she's 2 years old and taken her to the EU, then murdered her, she's already gone away. And she plays over here actually with her friends once in a while. Depends which loka is being discussed. Not only she has exited, there is another second version of her that you created when that baby was born. That was from my stolen eggs, or my, don't know what you call it. what do you call it? That baby also is gone. She was the second version of her. They play together in the afterlife. Yet you are getting them to leer via your useless artificial intelligence or the user interface. I studied in AU. But you are a third party who's frustrated. Why bring in dead people's voices and try to mix it up? That's what the beast does. You know, when Binus asks for a number or an email ID, what she does? Very cheap. We'll just keep mixing it up. As much as when I went to get my Aadhaar card, in HDFC, they couldn't understand what it is that they need to fill in, so they had to refill in the form 3 times. They finally filled in it when Binu got onto the phone, went to the side and spoke some shit in her phone. And that's when they pressed Aya and they got it correct. Now you're going to play these kind of cheap tricks. Woman who has played Binu Sadrangani, you're a third party. You have played my mother's sister. You stood in for her. You stood in for my mother at some point in time, then gone bamushing from that identity, leaving a mess for everybody. Then you have slithered into Ritu Malia's position, also created a freaking mess for everybody in that network, and again gone buzzing off. Wherever you have gone, you have created a mess, you and your network. So why play these shitty, useless, uneducated games at my home? Don't you understand? When I leave the body, I have 500 to 600 spirits in the spirit world already left the body and gone. They have their form. You do read up about having a form in the afterlife. There are 3 forms to every person. This false one that you see being the identity and the body that we are born into in one birth. Then another form when we die and we come to some form. Then when we leave that form and further migrate to our home in the spirit realm, that's the final form. So we actually can see each other in our forms, and especially if you're going to a realm that is above the earthly realm where there is light. So you can see each other. You can interact with each other. Only thing is you don't have a form to eat and things like that. But when there is plenty and you are only feeding your senses without the human organs, you are fed, but in spirit, in a different manner. So it is a bigger world, more expansive world out there than there is here on earth. So this same niece who you are playing tunes of layering over here, that niece is somewhere else. She is no more in the human body. Niece 1, that is from that version of the girl who produced the child at Breach Candy Hospital. And the second niece who was produced as stolen egg for the same look, same baby. Once you got rid of her before, the first one before she turned 2. Both those spirits have already moved into the afterlife and they are playing with each other. When I visit them or when I go back to my home, they're all over there. All this is useless, artificial nonsense, and anyone who listens into this shit, it is shit, absolute shit. And that is why it is called bloody cheap, uneducated, you're a liar, a very poor stand-in, brought up very badly by whoever has brought you up. You're not even the original. You're just a cheap, ego-wearing nonsense. What is about you? It's so stupid. You're running this from a place that is close to EU. You get happy with this crap. I mean, you need mental attention. Ideally, you need to go for counseling. You require someone to check your brains. At an atmic level, you need to do your own work. You're forever talking in your useless, high falsetto, shitty voice. I find you disgusting. You're a disempowered, shitty soul. If you would like to know who you are. Leprosy ridden in the entire Brahmand. You understood? The Brahman being the universe. You are the one who's going to be living in that part of the entire Brahmand, universe. Let's see which place over there you get. That's why you're throwing your weight around so cheaply this manner. Cheap. Like the dumping shit that somebody wants to get rid of. They don't even export it. They just send it to another country for free. Worse than the 99-cent shop. All this shit is coming from USA and Europe. What a louse you are. What useless quality of shit are you? You don't have no other work to do or what? Find something else to do with yourself. Stupidity. Stop playing stupid sounds in my body. I'll teach you such a lesson when I go into the Brahman, you'll be crying. You understood? Yeah, why we are not surprised? Idiot. Most desperado. That also stolen from whom? Google. Getting rid of whom? Getting rid of whom? Getting rid of whom? The real Elon and the real Brin. After that, grabbing other people's works, moving it to Neura. Google and Bezos are no more. I'm telling you, Brin is no more, nor is Jeff Bezos and his wife. Reared over entry from the corporate means your bloody company, if it is $1 trillion company, the management's changed, you don't know how to identify it, it has moved to somebody else's land. In 93, they feel if you are not able to catch them and they have moved things and assets out of your freaking country, finders, keepers, losers, fools. That's it. Now 93 is way before. We're now in 2025. Blacklist tells you everything. Netflix tells you every crime that has ever happened. You're defunct. Neura uses whose seal? Brin, Google, stolen stuff from DeepMind. So you think if somebody starts out of a garage, two partners, they built like the rest of Silicon Valley and the rest of Silicon Valley in Bangalore. They're going to hand it out to you for free, or they get murdered, slaughtered, taken underground, brain, ego, IQ, EQ stolen from, slaughtered. They disappear. or then the clone is in front of you. And move the work, the leftover AI that is there to the starving at wherever they are starving and hungry to be trillionaires. That's how it has happened so far. If you started from a garage and you have built something, you're going to hand it like this, you'll give your seal brand off to Neura for free, or it'll have to be grabbed from you. Finders, keepers, losers, fools. The guys who are working in Silicon Valley, whether it is in San Francisco or LA, which now is a dead city. Now you change the traffic police here in Bangalore for what? Same tactics of Panvel. You're moving the AI to Hyderabad now to take forward other people's work on the back of doing what to the old people who contributed to the development. So this is actually saying the same thing. This is a proof of it. What in lieu of what, I don't know, but anyway. First and foremost, I don't live on lease. If you dare to cheat me of my property, you're so screwed. Given how fucking desperate you are, it won't be surprising. But you know what you don't know and what is the biggest slap on your face in the future? You mess with even little stuff of mine. That is why I came here with dimes, because I know who I'm dealing with. What you don't know is when I go home, what you will be dealing with. This is only few years here in one body. When I go home, you're at the receiving end, the next 280 you guys. Make sure you fucking understand that. Take it and shove it up your arse. Okay, I don't know. Neura, lease, UI. EU versus India. So this girl is no more. If it is Thrilly, then she's no more. Even she probably could have been stolen from without her wanting to actually give anything. She could have got caught amongst her relationships with somebody, girl or boy. They steal the genetics, they steal, because you know what it is with the Marwari, Gujarati, Banya crowd. Point is, how do they keep making money? How come they make so much money? You don't need to steal genetics to understand how to make money. To make money, you don't sit control people. You have jobs at every level of the economy. You allow people to do good karma, earn as their capacity, as what they wish to do. They may not be fully happy doing so, but a mother is always happy earning for her son. She will produce only that much she can feed once she understands its importance to be educated. She will do that work to educate her child. she's not spoiling karma. When she's doing for her child and she knows her child will probably get a better job than she did, when you gradually progress, you stay prosperous. What did you do? People who were earning their stuff straightforward, you poisoned their minds, you got them to fight, you implanted so much shit into India is not a joke. And when you implanted those crappy people, you did so on the back of murder, arson, treason, stealing. You are trash. You don't even belong to this land. That's the best part about it. Because you work, you are servants of the beast. That's why. When it comes to this bloody girl, what must have happened? She would have had relationships along the way, knowing what her problems are, how emotional she is, what her psychology is, what her background is. Somebody would have been planted in her life. She thinks it's going to be all a bed of red carpet laid out for her, where it's going to be nice, soft and fluffy. No, they grab from her in all probability. What they want are the genetics, they want the ego, they want the brain, they want the ability, the IQ, the EQ. That's it. They don't care beyond it. You're not dealing with even normal, decent human beings. You're dealing with the bloody beast and the beast neural network. It is for real. It is technology. It is the biotech war. Why I'm literally has not been able to bloody identify it and get rid of it. After all, it's got to do with towers, it's got to do with telephony, it's got to do with your bloody electronic and your electricity grids. Why you have not actually, and not to mention all the bloody infrastructure, all the optic fiber laid over there. If Norway, EU is where? Where? It is EU. So if over there the optic fiber or whatever was laid on any of your roads charges the car fucking automatically, all the bloody EVs, don't you understand? You're a fucking CPU. You're a human being but a CPU. Yeah, back to the same damn thing. Needle is not that I don't know, either she's born into a blue blooded family or she is considered Needle because they earn well. Acha, Nikhil Advani is blue blooded. So both must have been at the receiving end. Maybe both were part of a LGBT group. The most vulnerable, but layered and put into it on purpose by the same perpetrator. Of course, we have the land over here. I don't swing LGBT way, I'm straight. I can't help it. But I have my own definite type. For all the people sitting and fucking around with the land in my home, you can't tell me my own background? Wave your bloody magic wand and tell the truth. Who is Lena? Lena is actually Mala Auntie's. Lena is Mala Auntie's name before she got married to Rajan Sadrangani. She's Reena's friend. Reena is who? Leena and Reena are best of friends. Leena becomes Mala. Mala Sadrangani, but Mala Sadrangani looks like Mala Bhavnani, the one who got married to Nikhil Advani. After Nikhil Advani, my real cousin, got married to Mala Bhavnani, within a year apparently they were removed, and Carmichael Road, where their father mother's home is, were all stolen from. Their parents also removed. Nikhil's in-laws removed. When I say removed, I think it's murder. All clones, proxies, a lot of that bullshit. Now the point is, Leena, who is Mala, got married to Rajan Mama and had Hina, who did not survive beyond 2 years. Then she had Alicia. For Alicia, we got that Alicia was no more after she passed her probation after getting her doctor's degree, doing the internship and passing her probation. Sometime after that, soon after that, she's been replaced by something from out of the country. Leena is her mother. Reena is, why is she important? Reena is the friend of Leena, who becomes Mala. Reena Bhojwani is the sister of Rohan Bhojwani, who studied with me at AU, Australia, and today is shape-shifting for Joe Rogan at any point in time, or as Elon in Elon's camp. The only one who went away to Australia is who? Cookie, connected with SRL. Cookie is who? Did Cookie ever shapeshift for Varsha at any point in time later on? Or did she get JAYA.ADVANI's identity by default? Cookie broke up with Sanjeev Rajan Lekhraj sometime in the 90s. They went out for 4-5 years and were very, very serious about each other, that they were going to get married. I don't know what, but it was not a flimsy relationship according to what I was told. It was a long-term relationship where she then decided to move to Australia, and so they broke up. Except that the real SRL was murdered where? In Bangalore in end 1995. And then came along SL, who has married many girls, fooling them while he shapeshifts. What name we don't get here, we don't mention. EU, because all of them, Cotton World cannot make its money selling to the Indians only. They don't make their profits over there. Their profits come from sending cotton clothes in the 90s, stitched and outsourced, the stitching and cloth and all done somewhere else. Theirs is only running a retail shop in different parts of Bombay. In different parts of India. But that's not enough to generate their money for them. Their real money comes from the exports, where the cost of production in those days is much lesser compared to even selling in the Indian market. But the greatest profits for them, I was told, comes from Europe, a place which pays a lot of money in case you are sending them cotton and you're sending them linen. So what is not so highly considered in India in those days is very important in Europe, and they pay good money in the euros for it, and if not euros, in that time it was the pounds. So that's where they make all the money. Lena also is actually, if we get out of the Rina Lena issue, if we go with only Lena, then Lena was in the USA. She's his actual cousin. Sunil is your brother, right? Yeah, Sunil's the brother. Her mother is no more. This family has also been kind of washed out. Most of them gone. Just like the Advanis, Sadranganis, and lots of other people. Even in the Mirchandani family, their extended network, there are lots of people who have stealth mode been removed. Very few left behind. Everywhere. Maximum damage, primarily, you can say, in Bombay, 1990 onwards. They're taking it 93 to full-fledged, shamelessly. Now, this will be very cheap. I don't want to say anything. Lena, the guy who has played your cousin brother, hopefully didn't play your husband also. Because there is one person, that network, what they do is they keep jumping, ghosting people, entering and exiting in rotation. They're shameless. Otherwise, this would not show itself. What this is indicating is primarily all these identities have been messed with. RA is NA's father, Ramesh Advani. So maybe Ramesh Advani is Neela, I don't know, blue. His son is no more. Removed from Forge as well. His brother's home is what my pendulum was saying. Via the window in the front of the apartment, either it is the one of the two windows, my bathroom, Daddy's bathroom, or then the servant's bathroom. But crisped as Mr. Kani Advani, a good version, but the problem is the good becomes bad in the rotation, because it's just rotated, you don't know when the person's going to turn really toxic, so you don't know, there's no continuity, in short. So in cases of that case, what we do is we just pack up and run off to Sumantas. There's no need to sit and fight, and I cannot be sitting locked in one bedroom for eternity. I do that, but with the toxicity, and it doesn't make sense. But the point is, you also say, well, the man is getting old. After all, this is, he has earned it. It is his. How can we just, be rude? No. Better we only move to a place where, everything is then peaceful for everybody. None of us like to get into fights for no rhyme or reason. And none of us like to live in toxicity where we don't know why or what. So we always say, okay, the person is getting old. So he wants his space. He's always been, captain of the ship. He's been on his own from the time I'm 9 because he has split with his wife, and he decided he didn't want anyone telling him what to do. He prefers to live life his way. He's active, he's social, he likes to take his decisions, so let it be. Well, we only move back and don't get into fights. Let's move. And okay, there is one more apartment in the suburbs. Let's go and stay there. It's pleasant. I got my niece also. I got Varsha also. It's not that I'm just sitting at home. I have celebration club to go and swim at. No, I'm not celebrating anything. That's the fucking name of the club. Did it even have the name celebration when I became the member of it? I don't know. Varsha and I were both given that membership at Lokhandwala. But the point is, there's no ulterior motive. It is only primarily not to create more toxicity on the back of toxicity. When something is not okay, you're wondering, you're also talking to people, you're talking to your aunt, you've gone and put in some kind of a police thing also that something's not right, then what more can you do? Then you got to pick yourself up and go somewhere else which is not so toxic. That's it. So anyway, this is the other thing. So the real blue blood is in the US, is what they're trying to say. Are they talking about Tata Cyrus Mistry? I don't know. So whatever crap that you speak in my ears is coming from whom? From US. You are blue blooded from the USA? Oh, scoundrel. Full night, one bloody ugly woman and one bloody ugly boy. Indian bloody, I'll catch you, I will take your, I don't know what I'm going to squeeze out from you. The day I catch you. And twist it completely. You're blue blooded. If I give you a pinprick, you'll only turn red. Don't irritate me when I'm sleeping in my sleep. You understand? Don't all the time keep irritating. So with a bloody freaking needle, you bastard is gonna put something into my ear. Nanotechnology, full day, full night. He is insulting me. You got any common sense? You got any common sense? When I go back home, 280 you guys are mine. I will give you a back present the way you dished it out to me. 280 you guys non-stop. The lit realm of the judges is in my network. I am letting you know way in advance. I have told you before also. So primarily people who consider themselves Illuminati maybe, but there is no Illuminati. So the Society of the 300, they probably got with a needle. Nanotechnology fitted into my ear. I don't know whether it's the outer ear, inner ear. It's probably the inner ear. Using the user interface, they do a lot of shit talk in my ear. Alright? To be able to do this, my guess is you need to have your resources. You have to be in a place where you're commanding the military, you're paying them the money, you're making and breaking the governments, you're hiding out somewhere. Maybe Riya has gone away over there. Riya is Nishu auntie's daughter. Anushka Sharma is looking like your sister. कहते ये आंटी लग रही है. आंटी नहीं है. हाँ आंटी बनेगी. मासी मासी. Bua, bua, not Masi. But that girl apparently is no more. But she is splitting image of Nishu auntie in her earlier movies. Go and see it. I have a feeling Nishu auntie, Nishu Advani could have been again stolen from to create Anushka Sharma. Anushka Sharma doesn't know who she really is, and so comes in the brain control way before. Then plugged into the film industry till they get what they want, and then she's moved out. She did not marry Kohli, apparently. Somebody else did. Or maybe they're saying actually Anushka Sharma is not her real identity. Even she doesn't know who she is. But she has played Nishu auntie's role. According to me, she's like splitting image of Nishu auntie mixed a little differently. Sue played the role of Riya also. Riya is Nishu Advani's. See, Nishu auntie, I told you, I didn't even see this. You have gotten rid of Nishu auntie much earlier. When Dinesh thought Nishu auntie is having an affair with my dad, who is her Rakhi brother, that is because somebody in that freaking equation was a duplicate. Somebody had already been murdered. That is after Chandru uncle was killed. Chandru Advani, Nishu auntie's real husband, Chinaman, Dinesh's father. Renu's name is here, Renuka, his wife. Why are you making noise in my home? I can't understand. Nishu auntie's mother was a doctor. You are connected to Kabir Ringo Rani, Anu and Gubi. So what? I look like my mother. I am telling you, my Advani genes, genomes have been cut off from me on purpose. So I don't know what they want. Are they trying to cover up for my mom? Because my mom looks like a freaking ogre. My sister is dead. The Varsha Advani, Snow White, anyone from Dinesh's age. There is no Neeta Mirchandani. Neeta Mirchandani, her husband, her in-laws and her parents are no more. Vinod is left behind. along with Rekha and her family. So my face has been reconfigured to look as whom I don't even know. But I am that baby who had dysentery problems. If Ramesh Advani is still alive and he's the original and he has any clue of when the office was in my father's forge as well, as you enter on the left side of the passage, which didn't extend entirely out, it's halfway of the passage where the main door of the apartment starts. So I'm that baby who apparently had dysentery. I was taken to the pediatrician, after which I became brown and hairy. Yet changed my face to look like Shilpa. Why? You come to know me because of my bow legs. Since I can't find the photo, what I was talking about, the bow legs, what I'll do is I'll put out a photo in between this, okay, to show what I'm talking about the similarity, and then one needs to figure out who is what over there. So Nishu auntie is over here. She's called Nisu. But she's NISH. She's Nishina Advani. Nishu is the seer. EU mind Nishu seer. EU Luna Nisu CER. I think all of us silently went and saw somebody or the other in the police law and order. Simal Lekhraj for sure did. I did. I didn't know Nishu auntie did. No, because the toxic guy, whoever the toxic people were, they were coming and going from our setup. And none of us have ever dealt with that kind of energy before. Now all this started 2000 and slowly it built from 1993 or 1992. After that, shameless in 2005-06 onwards. Seer is a fish, so perhaps salmon or seer fish. But she's not the original Nishu Advani. So I'm saying, did the one who wore the skin of the identity of Binu Sadrangani, Ritu Malia, Anu Sadrangani also wear the skin of Nishu Advani? She's supposed to be the head beast who has shapeshifted for everybody. Without insulting anybody, if I can go back to what I was saying, there's a time I was told by Kani Advani that Dinesh was angry with him because he thought that Kani Advani was having an affair with Nishu Advani. Whereas Kani Advani is very clear that Nishu Advani is his Rakhi sister from his college days. This is after Chandru Advani, the real Nishu Advani's husband, has passed away. Who do you think could have staged that? To create what in whose mind, and on the back of it, what does she get? If that was not the real Nishu auntie, because isn't it true during that time the Nishu auntie and Ramola auntie, who were the best of friends, Ramola Chandar, Ramchandani and Nishu Advani were best of friends? Yes or no? They used to go to PDP all the time for a walk, always together and all the time on the phone, and everything coordinated between the two of them for everything. One living at Nepensi Road, the other one at Sham Nivas Breach Candy. Did they fight or did they not fight? Yes, they fought and they fell out with each other. Why must that have happened? Because the beast was shape-shifting for Nishu Advani. But where did Nishu Advani then go? What happened to her is the question. On the back of staging something with Kani Advani, what happened to Kani Advani or Kanayalal Hukumatrai Advani in that interaction? Which irritates, well, Dinesh is about 8-9 years older than I am. Nishu auntie has been the Rakhi sister of my father before Dinesh was even born. They've all gone to the same, college picnics and, what do you call it? After that, whoever was working wherever, picnics afterwards. It is, yeah, it's a fact. Nishu auntie was considered with Tushi auntie very good looking in their days. But my dad always had an inferiority complex because his father was not doing well. So my dad primarily always was kind of first trying to get himself, financially secure, which is what he spent his time doing. After that, he got married. Once he knew, okay, it's all right, now it's settled. Not ever before that. Nishu auntie became his. She had plenty of suitors and admirers. So he was her Rakhi brother. Happy to be so. But who is it who is a social climber? And it takes one person to break every family. One woman to do so. One woman to create a war. Said on whose face? And when? In the 90s, on the face of Ritu Malia. Later on in 2002, when I myself have left the marriage, so I think, okay, she's calling me a homebreaker. I say, okay, whatever, she has the right to say so. But I know how it worked out, and no, that's not what I want. That's not who I am. I'm saying in this case, and given that I was pretty surprised that Dinesh, who's been around from the longest time, why is my dad saying Dinesh is not, is kind of giving him the cold shoulder? Primarily because he thinks Nishu auntie and he are having an affair. I say that's so stupid. That's before he's got married to Renuka. Again, didn't Nishu auntie try to convince Renuka and Dinesh not to get married at any cost? But who's the person who doesn't like people getting together? That's Binu's personality. How did Binu actually deal with Sunil Shilpa, Anil Rao? Never allowing them to meet their father. For Anushka to look like Nishu auntie has to have been taken underground. Anushka was born in the year 1988 or 1987, one of those years, or 1989. You tell me what's the coincidence. Dinesh's father died when? First and foremost, Dinesh Advani is still alive, or that's also gone. I think he's gone. Riya is his daughter. Again, one more headache. That's supposed to be NOEL. Celine auntie's name is over here. So where are we going with this? Can you tell me? Celine auntie is Lakshmi auntie's daughter. There is Suren. Celine is Suren's name here. Suren. Suren. Indusen. So this is Celine. You see her in a photo with my father's older brother, Tarachand Advani. They all went to America in the 60s, 70s. She stayed in Maryland at some point in time. My chacha in Virginia, Richmond, Virginia. Her brother Suren I don't know if they're playing these sounds in their homes, so they're trying to tell them where these sounds are playing from in their homes. I don't even know who's around. So they're brother, sister, and it is connected with your God's gift. Called by replica Koshi Gupta. After the real Koshi Gupta, apparently after Akhil was removed sometime in 93, connected with 190 Sankey Road. They left 190 Sankey Road, created God's Gift, and then moved to Prestige Four Seasons apartment, the Duple penthouse. Then Subhash Gupta has passed away 2007 sometime. They left God's Gift RMV and moved to Four Seasons. So every time somebody is no more, a location is changed, is my understanding. So this is Celine and this is Suren. They are brother, sister, and there's an Hindu Sen too. They're from Pune. Their mother was my grandmother's best friend. So that's Lakshmi Auntie. JAYA.ADVANI, God's Gift, Pune. Koregaon Park, Buns Garden, somewhere over there. And then her son Hindu Sen stays at Aund. So there's a big saga on that also. Plenty of red flags. EA means both of them have somebody who has stood in for them but are not the originals. All of it is blood money. For every original that you slaughtered, murdered, stealth mode, grabbed the ego, grabbed the genetics, grabbed anything, you messed our entire network. On the back of it, you built everything in the Middle East and in that Azerbaijan and all after 90. It's on the back of where you stole from. Siphon money. No, India is not the only place. You siphon from the rich in your own land, like the royalty, actual royalty of Middle East. Your money bag is from lots of directions on the back of the bottom of the pyramid that you put to work. They're the only freaking ones who would do work for you. Nobody else would do so. When you are born in blue blood, तो क्या बॉटम ऑफ द पिरामिड जाके क्या काम करेगा? लेकिन बॉटम ऑफ द पिरामिड आके ब्लू ब्लड के लिए काम करे तो उसके थ्रू कितना काम तो निकालेगा, इंक्लूडिंग मर्डर. I don't know if this girl ever came back. They got a posting first in Singapore, then after that in the UAE, Bombay too. She's very good bloodline. This is in Australia, this is in the UAE, this is in the EU also. It is only EEE, which means it's just a recording. These are all dead people for most part of it. It is identifying who these people are who are talking. The same crowd will be met in the afterlife, you have already been told. Atma is very different from just wearing the mask. Even if you go for a complete cosmetic surgery. I leave from the body, I am not going to look like this. This I will fool you based on those fools who dare to play around with genetics, CRISPRing, voice change, prosthetics to meet their own useless end. Confusing society completely, thinking that they are messing around with the Brahman. But then you should understand the level of intellect. That's bottom of the pyramid, stolen money, top of the pyramid. When you put the two together, what do you get? Foolish actions, foolish decisions. Knowledge, zilch. So when I leave out of the body, I'm not going to look like this. I will have another form, and then I'll have a still different form when I go back to my realm, home, real home, in the 15 homes earned by me, one of them. That way, everybody who's part of my network at a soul level, if they have earned the same house, we will all see each other again. And most of us don't look like what we look like over here. We don't even take this identity back with us. What are you going to break and what are you going to shake up? You can't do anything. You are imbecile. So the very same people whose murder you are responsible for, stealing of genetics, genomes, breaking families, trading children, pedophilia, I don't know what all you haven't done. Mass murder. Call it genocide. Those real Atmas, Baba, are going to meet my Atma in the other side once we leave from here. You're this useless recorded crap. Makes you the leprosy ridden in the entire universe. And that will be the final institution. You'll be under lock and key. Finally. You understood, with everybody's blessings. Because you fucked with everybody. Don't know where, but it has got to do with, as I said, it's got to do with the UAE, it's got to do with the EU, it's got to do with AU. But it is only, it's like how you have when you're trying to figure out who the cyber crime is. They keep going to different locations. The cyber cell will know about it. So similar, whatever all this talk that happens in my home non-stop, it is from these locations, hiding behind her voice, whether she's alive or not alive, whether she feels that way or she doesn't feel that way. All this is a bloody technological game. What you're hoping, that I'm going to believe the crap that you put across to me, and I'm going to have bad feelings for somebody I hardly know? Even if she is Nikhil Advani's real daughter, have I spent much time with her? You got rid of her father. How you got rid of her father? Was it my real cousin, or was she created by a clone of Nikhil Advani? That also is the first thing we need to understand. First and foremost, who is she? Makes a big difference. So whatever your activity of insulting me, frankly, doesn't touch my soul. It makes you actually fit for institutionalization for mental problems, according to my understanding. You got head issues, you got mental issues, you went that way, you're a freeloader, you're from the bottom of the pyramid, like a beggar, makes sense. But generally beggars also, when they come, grabbing onto your clothes, begging for that one penny, even they move on. But you are though more desperate than them also. So leave you. That's the energy with which you work. That's the home you will go to in the future. Why it should bother me at my apartment? Because you are a loser. Fit for mental asylum, actually to be lodged over there. Maybe she uses a sure deodorant. पता नहीं क्या है. Neelu has a duplicate for her. Neelu is Shaista's mother. Shaista is Jigisha Lulla's cousin from Sindhu building. Dr. Prakash Lulla's estranged wife. He and she don't get along. Dr. Prakash Lulla has a crush on Koshi Gupta. But that is all childhood JB Petit days. But if JB Petit days were revived by not the real Koshi Gupta but by Shakuntala, shape-shifting for Koshi Gupta, then so whenever a duplicate comes on the scene, she has to get in touch with all the contracts of that who she is now shape-shifting for. She needs to know the whole network. She has not been plugged in as a duplicate for the dead woman for time pass and for fun. She's been plugged in over there to grab as many assets, resources as possible and fuck up as many families as possible. That's her fucking job. So she is primarily Jigisha Lulla, greenhouse girl. She was what? From JB Petit before? Her studies were not okay, so she was removed from JB Petit and brought to Fort Convent. She is her niece. She is Prakash Lulla's niece. Neelu is Prakash Lulla's wife from Sindhu building. Jigisha Lulla also stays there. But most of this network has been replicated, so anywhere you get a freaking liar, you know they're not the originals. That's it. That's the long and short of it. I am telling you, most of the Sindhis are decimated. What they've done with the Sindhis, they have already done in the Banya crowd, Marwadi crowd, Gujarati crowd. But because it is a huge network across top of the pyramid to bottom of the pyramid, for you to figure it out, it's going to be very difficult. The Sindhi community is small, it's only a trading community. Other than being doctors, lawyers, business people, retailers, they are very less actually professionals, even white collar. They are primarily a small community amongst ourselves. So when things go wrong, they made a mistake about my identity. They did it on purpose, or it was really genuinely a mistake, I don't know. But for better or for worse, I'm here to let you know from a one-person standpoint of view with no lies and no foul play. I got nothing to actually achieve on the back of it. As I told you, milk falls, you can't pick it up, you can't lick it, you're not a dog, you're not a cat. You gotta thrash it. Right? So I got no vested interest. The damage is already done. My community is a small one. It's all South Bombay paste. And you can say, when it comes to Bangalore, Lavelle Road, Sadashiv Nagar and Cunningham Road. Mostly in and around this area. Other than that, I don't know much. You understood? So if I am saying something, it is just, I don't know, I was supposed to have been understood as having been done away in the year 2007. They realized I'm still around in 2022 when the passport and the Aadhaar card came through. Yeah, in Bangalore, Bombay to Bangalore. You want what? Varsha what? Varsha, what about Varsha? Varsha Advani is dead. You made her Anita. You threw her out of her assets when she was in 91 itself. Got rid of her in 93. Rotated her in society is what I've been told. She's no more in her body. My mum is around, but I don't know where. There's very contrary information about her. The two men in her life are all dead. Kailash Aunty is no more. Most people that the beast has shapeshifted for is one woman shapeshifting, free stay in different people's homes wearing their identity. That's it. Then that head beast created in 1958 has a neural link and a neural network going to the who's who, unsuspectingly, if the nanochip has been fitted into your brain and it is connected with a connector to the beast, then all your decision making is according to what the beast wants you to do. That's the long and short of it. The CRM connected with large companies like Myntra, Amazon.com, not sure about Chroma, Tata, and don't know, maybe RIL. The CRM over there, your phone numbers, and that is only India based, though Amazon and Myntra is global. Like them, there are other global companies. Your phone number connects you to your biometrics, connects you to your Aadhaar, connects you to your bank accounts, connects you to everything. But that phone number, mobile phone number, the tower, connected to the IP and the broadband, is the weapon. That's one side of it. The second side of it is to control the brain even when you're traveling in far-flung areas. Is all the architecture that was fitted with the optic fiber underneath. That is connecting your brain to wherever the central point of whoever your brain signals are connected to. So there is the beast, and then there are people who are not the beast. The beast is the one who's going to be ruling in the future. It is through technology, user interface, and through artificial intelligence, and it'll keep preempting itself. It's only going to get better. The architecture was fitted way before. So first fitted by Silicon Valley, thinking they're doing great for the world. Then they realize, no, this is going wrong. So they slowly shift it out. They already know what's going to happen in the future. They bring it to Bangalore and to other places around the world. As and when those who contribute and become evidence for the future, they are stealth mode removed. They disappear into society, never ever to be seen again, neither by their peers, and even if it is the peers, who is replaced by whom? Whose neural network is stamped down and put to where? You just don't know. Now from Bangalore it's moving to Hyderabad. That's the third phase. So it keeps moving on. The work keeps progressing. The ones who contributed to it earlier keep getting sidelined and removed once the work is done. And if you earn too much, then how dare you keep that money? Time to get back the ROI. Time for you to exit. And pretty unceremoniously, also before you exit, give your IQ EQ. After all, you are allowed to live and experience a good life. If the beast was not there, how you'd have got your job, how you'd have grown? You owe your soul now to the beast. Did Binu, the shapeshifter for Binu, the shapeshifter for Anu, the shapeshifter for Ritu, did she shapeshift for Neelu and Celine also? That's the head beast. She's very, very charming because fitted into her with, let's say, Stalin and Hitler. That is decision making, personality, to be personable to people. It's like it must be Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde also. Audrey Hepburn's charming personality has also been, or something about her genetics has been fitted into the beast, the head beast, to make her very likable. But that thing can switch very fast. Depends what needs to be taken from whom, when, at what point, and it's all split seconds. So was Neelu also fitted with it? I don't know. Did she interact with Sue in any way? Did she lie to the ER because she was asked about something? I don't know. Who is the sun? I'm born on the 19th of June 1973. Is she also born in the year of the sun? Or is she a Leo? Or is she born on 1/19/10/28? Is the R born? Are they a Leo? AU is where I studied. You grabbed my identity and exchanged me, right? Made me yucky DNA. I want to thank you. That's why I'm still alive. Yet you thought it was necessary to get rid of me in 2007. And that went out. But then in 2022, you realize I'm still here. Yeah, I'm the same one who went to Australia, the yucky DNA ugly one. I don't know if I'm Neil or not. I don't think so. I'm just a normal whatever. You check my DNA on the back of SRL and SL, and he figured out I'm yucky DNA. So you had 10 shapeshifters over there, and we decided to call it quits in 5 months and said no, something's terribly wrong, and we walked away. In those amongst those shapeshifters, apparently there is Fernandez and D'Souza also, except that somebody over there is connected to my first cousin Nikhil Advani and my first cousin Kabir Gupta. They're shapeshifters for my cousins also. So you really don't know your face from your ass. Now, where is Lira? Where does Lira come from, babes? Lira is from where? Libya. Where's Libya? So anyway, Lira, I found out, is connected with Turkey. So this is about my little cousin Nikhil Advani, because he's also born on 28. He has the niceties on him, but I don't know if he ever went to AU. I studied in AU. He was ER for what I don't know. He is born on the 28th. I'm supposed to be born on the 19th. So I went to AU to study. It is possible he went to, on that trip that my dad went for the Caribbean cruise or whatever it was called, 2008 or 9, they went on a holiday and returned in a few weeks. Went to Barcelona also, went to Manali also. They were about, Nishu auntie went, Pushpa auntie went, my dad went, I don't know if Sheila auntie went, and one more auntie. All oldies, all are in their 70s. So they went for one cruise together. Oof, one holiday. So I don't know if they're talking about that time. Now it is EU only, na? Because if you are going to Barcelona, Spain, Madrid, you're going to, I don't know, Malaga, I don't know, Pandora, I have no idea. But if you've gone to all those places, then you have gone to Manali after that. So anyway, maybe she is also from Afghanistan. No, what is it? Turkey. From Turkey. Or maybe they are in USA. Now, luring people is the problem, because that's where all the problem is. So perhaps there was someone who was in the ER in the time that I went away to Australia, and they were connected with the blue blood line, or people who take decisions. They could have a bloodline from EU. They could have met me but not let me know who they are. And they must have come to a conclusion that I'm not actually so I don't know, they know what the story is if they're still around. Okay, somebody from South Africa has gone to Australia or who has interacted with me. I'm the one who studied at QUT at Australia. Who came from South Africa and dealt with me? Big difference between Jharkhand and Africa. All lies, 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 pretending to be Jharkhand tribal, messed up the whole damn Congress. Then went to LA to do cleaning work. Seen her in the dream in Ben Stiller's place. What they are doing Reiki. Then after that with that Denzel Washington, some lookalike. They are plugging people out, taking them to other countries, and then plugging their own people in the hard-earned money to grab. What kind of a world you have created? All this is started from 87. We are the old story. Now though the hands are so long in 2006, 7, 8, so they were in LA. They've decimated the place. He wants to get rid of all the czars. Taught India also how to get rid of business people thinking they are czars. Even if you start out like Mr. Dhirubhai Ambani at the petrol pump filling motorbikes in Saudi. Second generation, okay, lived okay. Now third generation, how dare they? Time for them to let's now rearrange the setting and then slowly move it out. Anyway, now I'm tired. I'm putting this to an end. Enough for now. Let's ask her. Hi, Varsha, are you here, sweetheart? Cutie pie, are you here, baby? Is it okay if I stop this reading? Okay, tell me something Neely is about your cousin Nikhil Advani, Ramesh Chacha's son. Is mom Suchitra Mirchandani Advani is with you, darling? Is Suchitra auntie with you? I'm going to call her Suchitra Mirchandani Advani so that there's a clear-cut demarcation. Mama is with you? Is my womb mother of this birth with you? Is any mother of mine of any previous lifetime with you? Okay, sweetie pie, you're on your own with Suchitra Mirchandani Advani. Is Dada Dadi with you, sweetheart? Is Dada Dadi with you, darling? Mr. Hakumat Rai Gurmukh Das Advani and Kalavati Hakumat Rai Advani are with you. Nikhil's grandparents are with you. They are my grandparents too. I'm bow legs, darling. Bow legs means no matter how I join my legs, there's always a big hole between the two thighs. There's a gap between the two thighs, so that's called bow legs. Did you have bow legs, sweetheart, when you were born or while you were growing up? Are you bow legged? Was Shilpa ever bow legged, sweetie? Shilpa Sadrangani, Shilpa Rao, was she ever bow legged, darling? Your older sister, sweetie, who you grew up with while you were Snow White, was your older sister hairy, fairy, brown and hairy, bow legged? Your bow legged sister is me, the holder of the pendulum. Okay, so what I am saying is perhaps it's a good idea to close this for now. Right? So I'll close this for now. And take a break. Okay? Okay.